Yo, what's going on, people? So my name's Tafari, and I just want to talk about Stargirl again. I want to do my episode 5 review for Our Man and Dr. Midnight. And yo, people are still sleeping on this show. Every episode slaps like 100%. It just keeps you guessing. This is like, to be fair, maybe it had one episode that was a little slow, but man, I don't even really remember why I would say that. So in this particular episode, Courtney, she's carrying around all these pretty much superhero gadgets. Like, this is very unsafe, but I think that's what adds to the charm of the show. The fact that this little kid should not have all this power, and she clearly doesn't know. She's not skilled in what she's doing. Pretty much they could get killed at any time, and the fear factor is on. Like, I think that's what makes the show suspenseful, because it's like, you don't really fear for the Flash, bro. You'd be like, bro, no matter what, you're like, man, Barry's gonna make it out of that. Like, maybe it's his skill level, maybe it's the fact that his power is so OP, but every character, Stargirl, Pat, and Wildcat, all of those people can get murdered easy, one shot, just like Starman. As a matter of fact, the OP people from this show have gotten bodied already, so it's like, I'm really interested to see how things turn out. So in this episode, we get a little taste of my boy, Solomon Grundy, so it focuses on Dr. Midnight, and mainly it focuses on Our Man. So Rex Tyler was the original Our Man. I guess he knew that the Injustice Society was after him, and they were gonna do some type of crazy attack. I don't know what the heck was going on, but so they left their son with the wife's brother. The wife's brother is a straight asshole. Like, why is he the absolute worst person in reality, right? But she thought it was safe to leave her son with this dude. And so the parents end up taking off, and this is a flashback, by the way. So the parents end up taking off, and they end up getting murked by freaking fucking Solomon Grundy. And so Solomon Grundy fucking wrecks the car, forces it to hit like a tree, and they die, right? So the kid only hears that they hit a tree and died. So I guess, like, almost every day this kid comes out and he punches the tree, boy. Like homie was trying to take out, he has some pent up anger, bro. And I completely understand. There was a lot of lines that this particular character said. Rick Tyler, I believe his real name is. Times when he said, yo, I'm so full of anger, I just want to punch things all the time. Now, some people that are living some cushy ass, soft ass life, they're not going to understand that statement, okay? But your boy understands that statement. Your boy knows exactly how this dude feels. He feels betrayed. He feels lost. He has no purpose, and he probably got some pent up, like, he's just got pent up everything, bro. And so Matt and Courtney end up meeting him when their car ends up breaking down, and he's walking down the road, and come to find out, Pat and him both have an affinity for cars, right? So they have a connection, but the kid's also a little bit bipolar, because he was nice, he was like the Sour Patch Kids. Like, first he's sour, then he's sweet, but it was the other way around. First he's sweet, then he's sour, bro. And so it was kind of off-putting, but during their exchange, Courtney ended up seeing that Our Man's hourglass actually lit up. And so what we end up learning in this episode is that Our Man's hourglass was actually tied to his DNA. So it makes sense that the sun would get some type of reaction out of the hourglass. Another thing, this episode was a very big introduction to at least the new Dr. Midnight, which is gonna be Beth, the nerdy black chick. I knew the nerdy black chick was gonna play into it some way, somehow, but man, so remember how last episode she seen them escape the hospital and all this other stuff. So in this episode, I mean, homegirl don't got nothing to do with her time, yo. So she's like the worst person to see some secret stuff, bro. She even said, I can't keep secrets from my parents. I don't keep secrets from my, like what? Oh my god. This is like the greatest double-edged sword, because don't get me wrong, she is now one of my favorite characters. Like, so when I watch shows, I don't usually gravitate toward the main character. I feel like they're getting enough love, even though I will say Courtney's a great main character, a great protagonist. I like her personality. This is, I don't know, she's awesome. I have nothing bad to say about her at all. She's on the level of, like, she's got this kind of Goku characteristic to me, in my opinion. Like, maybe not so much of the new Goku where he's just like, what, you got muscles, I'll fight you, you know what I mean? But more of this kind of just a pure, and I don't even know if she's really pure. She's a little bit like, it almost seems like sometimes she could be misguided, because what if the Mori test comes out, right? What if the Mori test comes out and fucking Starman is not like Starman is not the father, right? What happens if Starman's not the father, yo? Can you imagine the devastation? But Starman has to be the father, right? Why would the staff? I don't know. It'd be the best. It would be the greatest twist in, I don't know. It would be the greatest twist since, like, Harrison Wells is Reverse Flash. I don't even know. I don't even know. You are not the father. All right, let me let that go. All right, so, man, pretty much this episode was straight flames, man. Like, we get some more of the Spider-Man training arc, and what I mean by that is, like, so nerdy black chick, now that she has this information, she's leveraging, like, she's like, first she wants to listen in on their conversations. Courtney is the worst whisperer, so, like, the worst whisperer ever. Like, that should be on the superhero test, bro. How well can you whisper? Your whispers have to be, like, inaudible to a dog. Like maybe not inaudible to a dog, because how do you actually whisper? How do you communicate this information? But, like, oh my God. Oh, and there was this other moment too I want to talk about. So while she was eavesdropping on Courtney and Yolanda, freaking, she slipped right on some water, and this is all in school, mind you. So there's millions of people, like, there's not millions, but there's hundreds of kids around, or whatever, like maybe like 30, 40. I don't know why I need to get the number right, but whatever. There's a lot of kids around, but also she slips on this water. She doesn't fall, but there's the janitor there, and they always do this close up on the janitor. Yo, I peeped this, okay? I'm letting you know I peeped this. They do this close up on the janitor, and he looks at her and he says some shit like, he said, what did he say? He said, "Careful, there's dragons in the water." And I swear, like, it almost seemed to me, and I might be reading too much into it, right? But homie was, like, pretty much saying, "Careful, you're about to get mixed up in some crazy shit right now." Like, pretty much, it almost seemed like the janitor was, like, almost like, what's that called? Breaking the fourth wall? Like, I swear, what was he talking about dragons for? Is he just crazy? What was he talking about? Man, I don't know. Hella interesting, dude. Hella interesting. Man, I mean, this episode was just interesting in general. Like, oh, I called it. I called it, you guys. People in the audience, people in the chat, I called it. Brainwave Son has some type of psychic powers. I don't know what it is yet, but yeah. He read Yolanda's mind. He read Yolanda's mind, yo. So he was at the party, right? So come to find out, they, when Rick Tyler, I don't know what his real name is, we're gonna call him Rick Tyler because that's his name, isn't it? He didn't wanna, he started being mean to everybody. Like, what was going on? Oh, they wanted to recruit him. He was pretty much like, nah, fuck that. And so they needed to find a way to make him understand that he should join the squad. So they go to this party that he's at, and I think I skipped the best part. As a matter of fact, let me go back. Let's run it back. So I want to talk about how Dr. Midnight got her costume. So Beth, the nerdy black chick, she ends up maneuvering her way into Courtney's house, fast talking her mom. Yo, Barb, you're, I don't know, I guess it's easy to trick parents, man. She probably wanted her kid to have a friend so bad that she didn't think that this was suspicious at all, that this kid would show up randomly, that Courtney never mentioned, and then let her in the house, and unsupervised too. So one thing led to another. This girl gets to go upstairs and she finds the goggles, right? Or you know what? The dog was actually chewing on the goggles. So, you know, it almost seems like some Final Destination, Jesus take the wheel type of situation, where the goggles got from all the way upstairs, downstairs, into her line of sight, her view. So she ends up taking the goggles away from the dog, and then come to find out the goggles are pretty much like a super advanced AI. They can tell you anything. It's pretty much Tony Stark's brain. She pretty much turns into Tony Stark, at least the brain aspect, with this AI. And she was already hella smart, yo. Bruh, Dr. Midnight. It's coming in clutch. It comes in clutch, yo. Later on, Courtney finds her in the room. She flips out. She's like, "What you doing in my room?" Dude, like, it's hard to argue this. Look, just like how the hourglass lit up, I just feel like this is almost like God's will. Like everybody's moving into position. I know I sound mad religious right now, but like, you know, everything's moving into position. The stars are aligning. And so Courtney, she's kind of feeling invaded, which anybody would. This is the nerdiest, weirdest kid in school. Like, you don't want her to just show up in your room one day. That's kind of weird. And so she tries to like maneuver her way out of this, like saying, you know, I'm not a superhero, all this other stuff, because homegirl is confronting her now. Like, I heard you yell out to Yolanda, blah blah blah. She pretty much said what I said last review. Like, how's she gonna be so dumb to yell out the woman's name out loud? You know what I mean? Like, come on, that's why you got code names. But long story short, you know, black chick ends up joining the squad. She's Dr. Midnight, and she comes in clutch. So later on, they try to recruit what you call it. So let's go back to the party now. All right, we just fast forwarded. We're back at that party. So at that party, you know, long story short, Courtney ends up maneuvering her way through the party, finds Rick, and convinces him to take the hourglass, right? And, you know, explains to him, with the help of nerdy black chick Beth, freaking that his father was our man, that this thing can give him powers. And Beth was like, she was like the best video games tutorial ever. Like, some real quick, real simple, easy to digest words, and then just let you play after that. So she taught homie how to use his hourglass, and homie just went to go play after that. And he pretty much wanted to turn into a bad guy. That was his plan. Our man's kid wanted to pretty much become a bad guy, right? And so luckily, once again, Beth comes in clutch, comes in ultra clutch, because she's able to actually go through pretty much the database of the goggles of Dr. Midnight's goggles, and she learns that Rick's parents did not have an accident like he was told, that you know, they crashed into a tree and all this, but that it was actually a murder, and it was actually committed by my boy Solomon Grundy. So this is actually a really good revelation for him, because this dude needed an outlet for his anger. You know, normally, you know, any of us, we just do some push-ups, do some stuff like that, and he was working on his car, but now my man is like, he's pretty much Superman for an hour, bro. So he wants to, like, he's not trying to like just take out his energy on a car no more. He's trying to take out his energy on the perfect punching bag, Solomon Grundy. So what a brilliant way to hone in this reckless youth, this delinquent, Yolanda called him earlier in the episode. So man, just really great writing. Unfortunately, I see the thumbnails. I don't know if I'm really liking the way they look in their costumes. Everyone's costumes look like they're just too big for them, but I almost feel like that's the point. And I mean, except for Stargirl. Stargirl's really slaps. Everybody else's costumes look like some bargain day costumes, but I just, you know, it's the golden era, and they're really leaning into that. So I don't know, I can't be mad at that at all. And some other sinister things are going on around town. It looks like the ISA are building something. They wanted a satellite, so they have the principal who we thought, remember how it was like, is that a fiddle? She's the fiddler, bro. And something in my mind told me that she was the fiddler, but I'm like, the fiddler? What's a fiddle anyway? I don't know instruments. I don't really know my instruments. So there we go. I'm like, she plays the violin. I don't know. How's that the fiddler? But maybe that's the whole idea is that you're music based. I'm not even sure, but I like it. So there's a school bus blocking off this truck that was carrying the device they needed, right? So the fiddler's able to pretty much mind control these people with the violin, right? And then this other dude, this other chunky creepy dude that like we've seen him on occasion, I'm kind of like was like, does this dude, is he part of the ISA, or is he just like their henchman or their butler or something? But he was doing some dirty work this time too. He came out of nowhere. He had this little gadget gun, like this little go-go gadget gun inside his sleeve, and he killed some of the guards and stuff like that. So he seems like he gets some action done. But pretty much what they always seem to end these episodes off with is showing how insurmountable the bad guys are. And so it's gonna be interesting to see how Courtney and her ragtag team here is gonna be able to handle that. But at least we have Superman for at least 59 minutes. So let's see how that turns out. I just can't wait. Honestly, this show slaps. But all right, see you in the next one.